after he's gone.
Welcome back to The Gloves Are Off. Brian is busy filling in our guest about my ability, or maybe I should say inability, to horseback ride. But we won't get into that. We'll save everyone at home the good stories, and we will talk about the big three. Because no crown for King James, and I don't know about... All right, here's my real question. Who's happier, people in Toronto or the entire state of Ohio, specifically the city of Cleveland?
I gotta go with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cleveland, I think LeBron losing the championship was better than Cleveland winning it. The city just erupted, and I mean, what better finish to the NBA season than to see the crown go somewhere else than to Miami?
So were you happy for the Mavericks, or were you just more happy that he didn't win it?
I was happy for the Mavericks.
Yeah.
I watched.
Look
I like
at
to watch
Dirk and Jason Kidd. Did you see them
oh,
after the game?
Dirk was so good. Oh my God, this is just turning into a bad show now.
Why do you run away?
He wanted to go to the locker room and celebrate, and then did you see that? Then he came back out.
He's the only one in there.
Yeah, he was the only one in there.
I think you know what I think he did? I think he wanted a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
of his own stuff. Yeah,
well,
maybe to jump into the glass or something. Just let go and scream, and then come back out with everyone.
Yeah.
But I think when you look at it, LeBron, to me, his biggest mistake was when he signed. I know what the spin-off was. It was to raise money for, do you remember what that was? When he did the big foundation and all that. So that was the whole premises. It was really classless, the way it turned out to be. And it made people not like him anymore. And then he topped it off by his comment on SportsCenter about people who are attacking him. They'll have to go back to work and basically grow up.
Yeah.
Like LeBron, they got to him. And his performance.
And he was not outstanding either. No. Look at his fourth quarter numbers; they were pathetic.
In the last two games, he didn't do anything.
He shot,
and you know, him dropping his level of play left it all on Wade, because Bosch was, you know, whining about his sore eye most of the time.
Yeah, and then. Then the tears started flowing.
Yeah, but Bosch doesn't hit me as much as LeBron. But what cracked me up about LeBron was how many times have you seen him dish a ball going down in the paint, and he doesn't.
Never.
He goes up over everyone and he kills you. Yeah. He didn't do anything. He looked like he was afraid.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to hear, you know, similar like we usually do in Stanley Cup. You know, so afterwards you hear about all the surgeries and injuries and everything. I wonder if that's going to be.
I think you are. I think you're going to hear a couple.
Yeah.
Of
You're going to have to hear something.
Surprised.
They need some sort of excuse besides we got beat by a better team. I mean, their coach was the only one that said, you know, that team deserved to win it, and nobody else on the Heat took any credit for their loss. You know, they got excuses coming out all over, and you know, the Mavericks deserved it, and it's nice to see a franchise get their first championship.
We have to move on now. We're going to go back to hockey quickly here. New coach. Apparently, Kevin Cheveldayoff has said to Craig Ramsey, "Oh, look, I'm going to go out and interview other candidates for this job." What's your take on that? If you're Craig Ramsey, are you choked right now, or do you have to respect the process?
I think you're a little bit choked, but in the long run of things, I mean, what did he do last year?
Yeah.
I mean, even maybe 2 years, in the last 2 years. You know, have they made the playoffs in the last? Yeah,
but it's a very, you know, Craig Ramsey coached with John Tortorella, and so I was lucky enough to know both of them, and Rammer and him didn't get along really well.
Really? John Tortorella didn't get along with someone?
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
Because the philosophy.
Do you hear what I'm saying, Brooksy?
It's not coming.
But the philosophies were a little bit different, but Rammer's a little bit more quiet type person, quiet type coach, and the process of Winnipeg, I think if you're going to change it, and I like Rammer, I think he's a fantastic coach.
But you think he's a guy for the job?
No, I think it's time to move on, and quite frankly, I was shocked that McLean took the job in Ottawa. Because that would have been the perfect fit for Winnipeg.
Oh, that's a good twist.
Because he played there in Winnipeg. He was one of the stars.
That's a really good one, actually.
So you can put that one in your hat.
Well, we were going to talk about McLean, too, and I got rid of that
one.
That's a good one. But, all right, we will move on then. I got to talk a little football here. Not so much football, though. Don't worry, Brian. I know it's my Ticats.
It's her Ticats, everyone.
Everyone calm down. Jordan Matachuk. Great guy.
You got to take a coffee break.
Thought he was a total peach.
But
goes, I missed that one. Okay, so goes to training camp after being arrested for steroid possession. He had pills, he had liquid, he had needles, he had marijuana on him. Goes to training camp, doesn't say anything to the staff. And then the staff learns about it and they release him as soon as they find out about it. What was the bigger mistake? what he did with the steroids and everything else, or not telling his coaching staff about it?
I don't think there is a worse of the two. I mean, obviously he got caught with the stuff. That's not good. Doing the stuff's not good. And then lying about it when you show up to camp. I mean, you got to know that you're going to get burned somewhere.
Right.
I mean, something's going to come out somewhere, and if you don't come up front about it when you show up, I mean, they most likely would have told him to pack his bags right at the get-go.
But maybe they would have said he's resigning from I don't know.
Did you ever take a look at it from just where we've headed in sports, especially in football, where we're going? Is the edge.
I don't care about that.
No, but it's the edge and it's the advantage, and this is what these guys are doing. You don't like it, but the reality is that's what these players are doing to get an edge to keep their contracts and to stay longer. It's absolutely wrong. I don't agree with it at all. He got busted. He should have been canned. He shouldn't.
He got canned, but then, Brian, my question to you is should he not have been honest about it from the get-go? Do you not think that maybe would have changed? Maybe would have changed the way things.
It would have been his best bet.
Proven guilty,
it
right?
would have been his best bet to come up with it and say, you know what?
You're a coach. Do you not want your players to be honest with you?
Absolutely. If my player came up to me, the outcome might not be the difference, but I might respect him a little more.
That's
sure.
Yeah. So there you go. But
because now not only was he a cheat,
you got
522.
He's a liar.
52
when you
needles.
omit something to me, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Well, in the little world of the fantasy world that sometimes you live in, the reality of it is that, you know what, you're right. He lied about the thing. He should have come straight up. As a coach, yes, I would have liked that. But the amount he got caught with.
It's not personal use.
It makes me wonder, where's this all going to? I think there's a bigger question to that. I don't think, Carly, though, it would have changed whatsoever, him telling the coach.
All right, it was a tough day in the life of me. All right, sticking with the Ticats, they're in the news lately.
Yes.
God, we get
I'm being told to wrap it up, actually.
Go get a donut now, everyone. Let's go.
Do we need to move on to our next segment? Oh, we do. Okay, my production staff is telling me we need to move on. But that's good news for you, Brian. We get to play Who Am I Now?
I like the next one.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's coming up on The Gloves Are Off.